We're going to do a nice flow today. Start by standing up lovely and tall, ground those feet into the floor, and breathing long, slow, steady breaths. Inhaling as you bring your arms away up above your head, and then exhaling, forward fold. Doing that a couple of times. Inhaling, finding that length through the front of the body. Exhaling, softening into the knees, coming into your forward fold. When you breathe in, we're going to come into a right angle pose. So it's the first one, draw the weight into the balls of the feet. Exhale, forward fold. Do that a couple of times, just start to explore that sense of length in the back of the legs, length in the spine. And then when you're ready, take the right foot back, soften the knee to the floor, find length and come into your low lunge. Exhale, bring the hands down, step back, knees down, plank. Big breath in, find length. Exhale, take the chest and chin to the floor, and then inhale into Cobra. Release out of your Cobra and take the bottom back to the heels. Child's pose. Take your gaze forwards, take the right foot and place it between the hands, and then find that lovely low lunge. Arms come down, take the back foot between the hands and come all the way up to stand. So we're going to do that again on the other side. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, and exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, right angle pose, and exhale as you fold. Left leg comes back this time, soften the knee down and find your low lunge. Taking that front foot back, find your knees down plank and make your way to the floor. Lovely big breath in for Cobra and release into Child's pose. Let's take the left foot between the hands, find your low lunge, keeping that strength in the belly, integrity in the back. Then back foot comes up to meet the front and all the way up to stand. Round two, big breath in, lift these arms all the way up above the head. Let's find a side bend this time, find a bit of space down through the side of the body. Inhale through centre and exhale to the other side. Inhale through centre, exhale as you fold. Inhale, right angle pose, and exhale to fold. Let's take the right foot back, this time a high lunge if you can, keep that knee lifted, push your way through the back heel, lovely and strong, and then step back to your plank. Remember, you can bring your knees down in plank, that's okay. Chest and chin comes to the floor, and then find your Cobra. Tucking the toes underneath, scoop through the belly, lift those hips up and back, downward facing dog. And a couple of breaths in your down dog. You might like to pedal the heels, whatever feels good. And then we're going to take the right foot, place it between the hands, find your high lunge. And then the other foot comes up to join it. So we're going to do this again. Big breath in, sweep the arms all the way up above the head. Come into your side bend here, one way first, and then the other. On the next exhale, forward fold. And then when you breathe in, come into your right angle pose. Exhale to fold. Left leg back this time. Again, we're finding our high lunge if possible. Push your way through that back heel. Find length between the back heel and the chest as you lift it. And then soften the hands down to the floor. Plank pose. Making your way all the way down to the floor. Cobra. And then easing your way up into downward facing dog. Left foot's coming towards the front of the mat this time. And then find your high lunge again. And then bring the back foot up to meet the front. Inhale to lift. Exhale, release. Okay. Let's find a mountain pose, find that sense of strength, take a breath. As you breathe in, sweep the arms all the way up, and as you breathe out, shift the weight back into the heels and sit down into your chair pose. And you might take a few breaths into and out of this just to find your way into a chair pose that feels good to you. So keep the toes down into the floor so it doesn't feel like you're about to fall over. And then when you breathe out, forward fold. Right angle pose on your breath in and fold on your breath out. And then take both the feet back, bring the knees to the floor, knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, tabletop. And then you can ease your way through your cats and cows. So just start to feel that little bit of mobility in the spine, a little bit of movement there. Extend your right leg out behind, have a bit of a play with it if it feels good. And then use a scoop from the belly to bring that foot between the hands. Low lunge here, and then step back to your tabletop. Again, you might want to go through some cats and cows, just see how it feels, have a bit of a wiggle, whatever feels right, and then we'll do the same with the left leg. Use that belly to bring the knee right up into the chest and then step it through before finding your low lunge on this side. Stepping back to your tabletop when you're ready, and then maybe take a breath in child's pose. Just see how that goes. We're going to ease up through downward facing dog, and then take the feet when we're ready to the space between the hands. So however you want to get them there, if you want to take little stroll up to the top, that's fine. Inhale all the way up to stand, and exhale to release. So we can do this again. Inhale, sweep these arms forwards and up, exhale into chair. Inhale as you find your length in chair, and then exhale to fold. Inhaling, finding your right angle pose, and exhale as you fold. We're going to take both these feet back and come straight into a downward facing dog this time. Take a breath or two, find that sense of spaciousness in the back of the legs, maybe lift right up onto the toes using the strength in the belly to lift you all the way up. And then exhale, easing the heels down to the floor. Just have a little play with how high up onto your tiptoes you can come on your breath in. And then we'll take left foot up to the sky, look through and step it up to the outside edge of that hand. Inhale, sweep that foot back and up again. Exhale, scoop through, step it up to the outside edge of the hand. So we're just going to play a little bit here with mobility into the hip, taking that foot a bit wider than we ordinarily would. A few goes like that, and then you'll take the foot and place it between the hands to set up for your high lunge. When you've got your grounding, you can inhale and lift to high lunge, and exhale, release out of it. Okay, you know what you're going to do? You're going to do the same on the other side. So find your down dog first, have a bit of a play with that height. You might even like to roll into and out of a plank a couple of times. Here, experiment with a wave-like feeling, rolling with your breath. So you start by inhaling, lifting right up onto your tiptoes, and then exhale as you roll into your plank. And then scoop through the belly to lift those hips up and back. Once you've had a play with that, let's do the same thing on the right hand side. So we're going to take that foot and place it to the outside of the hands. Stepping the foot all the way out behind again. Let's do it again, all the way up to the outside of the hand. So have a few goes with this, just playing with this mobility in the hip here. See how it goes. It might not get all the way up to the hands, and that's okay. When you're ready, take that foot and place it between the hands, set up for your high lunge. Find that strength, that grounding, that gaze point. Find your high lunge. And then your hands to the floor. So, stepping back to downward facing dog without tripping over your cat. And then we'll take both the feet to the top edge of the mat and come all the way up to stand. Okay. Find your standing position. Find that height. Breathing in, sweeping the arms all the way up. And breathing out, side bend. So you'll inhale as you come through centre and exhale to side bend the other way. Inhale as you come through centre, and when you exhale, find your chair. Inhale as you find length in your chair. This time we're going to take one hand to the opposite knee and open into a twisted chair. So find length through that spine and as much opening in the chest as possible without rolling through. Find your right angle on your breath in. Now you might choose to change your arm position here in your right angle pose. So find a position that's going to feel good to you. If it puts too much pressure on your back, come out of it. Let's come into a chair pose as we breathe in. And then exhale, twisted chair the other side. So you're keeping your hips forward, you're keeping your knees level. Right angle pose again as you breathe in. Have a breath or two there, and then on an exhale, you're going to ease your way down to forward fold. You might take a breath or two softening through the knees. You might take the hands round to one side of the feet and then round to the other side of the feet. So whatever feels good, just have a little moment of ease and softening here. And then we're going to find our way back. Take those feet back, or one foot back. Take the right foot back and come into a low lunge. And then see about lifting the knee away from the floor so that you can step back into a plank pose. Of course, that could be done with the knee down to the floor if you prefer. You're going to make your way down to the floor and then come into a variation of Cobra, and this time I'm going to take the hands away behind the back, interlace the fingers, find length through the chest, draw that chest forwards, and then a twisted Cobra by taking the hands to the outside of the hip. Do one pair and then have a break, come down to the floor, re-engage the belly, and then find length through the front of the body before you do it again. So just have a little bit of a play with it. See if you can do it without lifting the legs away from the floor. That is hard. See if you can do it without feeling any pinching, tweaking or twinging in your back. So keep that strength in the belly. If you would prefer to keep your hands to the floor and just look over your opposite shoulder, that's okay too. When you're ready, we're going to find our way through downward facing dog. Have a breath or two in your downward facing dog, and then take your left foot to the top edge of the mat. Lift the arms. Bring the arms down on the exhale and then take the back foot up to meet the top. Maybe hang in ragdoll for a moment, just see how that feels. A little bit of a sway side to side. And then rolling up to stand. Take a side bend one way, and then the other. And then release. Okay. Set up, find your mountain pose. Breath in, lift these arms all the way up. Side bend one way, and then to the other. find your chair pose. Inhale, find length in chair. Exhale, twisted chair. Even pressure through those feet. Inhale, right angle pose. Exhale, twisted chair, the other side. Inhale, right angle pose. Exhale as you fold. Again, you might just want to have a little sway. Explore what it feels like to lengthen through the legs. Inhale as you come back into that right angle pose. Exhale as you fold. Just see what that length in the legs feels like. And then you're going to take the feet back. Come into a downward facing dog. Try not to stand on your cat. And then exhale, roll forward into a plank. And bring yourself all the way down to the floor. So we're going to set up for that Cobra Variation again. Explore your way into it. Feel free, as I said, to keep the hands to the floor instead for a bit of support, but if you can, without any pressure in the back. Twist from side to side, and then when you're ready, take the hands into the floor by the chest, tuck the toes underneath. We're going to float away from the floor, strengthen through those legs. When you're ready, lift all the way up, and then all the way up to downward facing dog. So we're looking for the feet to be nice and grounded here. You may want to keep them a little bit further apart than normal. Keep strength in the belly. Maybe have a little test out what it feels like to take one hand away from the floor, and if that feels okay, you can take your hand to the outside of your opposite leg, run your hand down the leg, catch hold of the foot. See how that feels. Try the other side. You might choose to stay there for 2 or 3 breaths. Trying one side and then the other. Easing your way back through to your downward facing dog. And then softening the knees to the floor and come into child's pose. A moment or two in your child's pose, finding that sense of space in the back of the body, that release as your forehead eases down to the floor. And then we'll think about a twisted child, so taking the hands off to one side of the mat, finding that sense of space and length into the side body. And then when you're ready, you can take the hands to the other side of the mat. Roughly the same number of breaths both ways. We're going to ease our way up towards the top edge of the mat, so there's plenty of room behind us, and then flip over. Okay, freestyle boat play. You can do what you feel is right for you. Keep those heels down to the floor if you want. As you can tell from my previous video, I have not been practicing a lot of boats this lockdown period, so it's not going to be a long boat play. Take your time to get into your version of boat, and if you want to, you can have a bit of a play with it. So here I'm doing inhale as I open up, exhale squeezing in. You could even play with some twisted boats if that feels good. By taking the hands to the outside, inhale through centre, exhale taking the hands to the outside of the legs. When you had enough of your boats, you can make your way down to the floor. Find your way into a suitable position. I'm liking this reclined version of cobbler's pose at the moment, that's suiting me, but if a different version suits you better, feel free to have a bit of a play. If you're in cobbler's pose, the soles of the feet are touching, the knees are splayed open. You might find that you've got access to some cushions or some blankets because you're at home. You might be able to prop them underneath your thighs. That feels quite nice to release the legs out onto them. Arms are in a comfortable position for you, and you're just breathing in, feeling that sense of spaciousness and lightness within you. Out, that release as your body sinks into the support of the floor. Breath is not forced in any way. It's full, but steady and even and easy. And then when it's time for you to start moving again, you can do it gradually. So you might just gently wiggle fingers and toes. You might bring the knees into the chest and give them a hug, have a little rock on the back. And then whatever feels good. So if you want to explore some length in the back of the legs or in the inner legs, you might come into that wide leg position by catching hold of the toes or the inside of the thighs. You might prefer to make your way into a happy baby position by bending those knees and easing them in towards the armpits. So have a bit of a play, whatever feels appropriate, whatever feels right for you. You might prefer some twist, so whatever works for you. And then making your way up to seated, and we'll do our 3 final breaths here. So remember, long steady inhale, long steady exhale. Thank you very much. Hope to see you again soon.